How does it feel? Do you feel vindicated?
Yeah, Jiboke, thank you for having me once again. I actually feel vindicated, and I give glory to God for making me the number one in the unit, number one in the ward, and number one in the state, because I won from my unit, from my ward, and local government, and the state. So I really feel vindicated, and I thank God for it. And I thank not just Edo people, I thank Nigerians for being with me, praying for me, for all the ordeals that I went through. And I also thank God for showing me that it was finished, Ofune, and God has made it possible for what we are. And I'm so excited and happy for the victory. And I thank God that He is God, and He has shown that He is God.
So what exactly was the game changer for the APC? And is there so much to learn from that election?
Yes, a lot of things to learn. Leadership, a lot of to learn about how a leader behaves. The governor of Edo State could not provide leadership, and the PDP at the center could not provide leadership. And because of that, 10 of us that have contested this primaries in PDP, 9 of us left. 9 of us are together against one person. Whereas in APC, there was leadership. All of them that contested against each other were united at the end. Even with their anger, they were able to unite them to work for one person. That is leadership. Whereas in PDP, from Abuja to Edo, in fact, Edo was worse, because when you see a governor telling you, do you know I'm the governor? Do you know I'm the leader? That shows he has lost control. And one of the things that made PDP lose in Edo State was impunity, wickedness. A man will tell you, I will destroy you. You want to destroy a human being that you didn't make? The governor told me, Philip Shaibu, that if I contest for governorship of Edo State, he will destroy me. And I like, you destroy me. Whereas I was one of those that make you governor. Because you are not governor and deputy. Now give you the right to feel you can destroy me. And I say, God, if you created me in your image and likeness, then it's only you that can destroy me. Turn this thing, the table around, and show Obaseki that you are God. And that was what has happened.
But Deputy Governor, when you say the governor could not provide leadership, did you mean that the deal of Obaseki and Philip Shaibu could not provide leadership because it was a joint ticket until the relationship went south?
Yes, it's not. It's a joint ticket. It's a joint ticket. But when one of the tickets decided that it became a private entity, and he now wants to destroy the other person that they are supposed to coexist, then what do you expect? You see, a leader, Comrade Adan Shomole, though we had our own disagreement when in 2020, when he said it was not going to be Obaseki. But for him, Obaseki, to be governor in 2016, it took Comrade Adan Shomole to provide leadership by appealing, begging, convincing us to support him as a candidate. For me, it took Comrade Adan Shomole almost 3 months to convince me why I must support Obaseki. That is persuasion, mobilizing people for a purpose. Well, Obaseki in the other way said, this is what I want. If you don't go, I will destroy you. Okay. And he ended up fighting everyone. And that is why he could not provide leadership.
All right.
And I asked myself at times, I said, do you really want Aswe to win? Somebody told me, actually, it was a game for him to take Aswe out of the private sector so that when he returned back, he can occupy the space. Okay. And the way the election has actually done, it shows that.
We'll come back to that. But how much influence did the manner in which APC managed the aftermath of the primaries play here? Because at a point, the unity of the party was in doubt. And I'm asking that question because in the build-up to the election, the party was factionalized. members of the integrity group insisted they would not vote for Senator Pueblo. Also, you said a lot of persons were not happy with Governor Obaseki. Was his issue with the Oba of Benin a deciding factor? Did he work in your favor? I know the monarch need not publicly endorse anyone, but his body language was all the people needed.
See, me, I am Oba's son. Anybody that fights Oba fights me. And that is how an average Benin, an average Edo person thinks and feels. You cannot fight an Oba of Benin. There are two kingdoms in the whole world. Benin Kingdom and United Kingdom. You cannot fight the Oba of Benin and think it will not have a negative effect. Obviously, the Oba of Benin issue also have a negative effect on whoever Obaseki brings. It was no longer about party. It's whoever Obaseki brings cannot win the election. And so the Oba of Benin factor was there. And you can imagine Obaseki trumping up fake charges against me, saying he was impeaching me for, in quote, revealing official secret, which does not make any sense. Till tomorrow, I'm asking even the House of Assembly, I'm asking the Obaseki, what was this government secret? They couldn't even define the secrets they say I revealed. They just said revealing government secret. Why is the secret is not defined? Just to actualize a statement of destroy me. He used the word, I will destroy you. But unfortunately, I want to thank the judiciary. I have cause to thank the judiciary, but they don't have cause to even praise judiciary or make any positive statement about judiciary. You know why? Because they don't believe in judiciary. They don't. The governor of Edo State, the godfather of Asra Ogudalo, does not obey court orders, does not obey court judgment. There are many lands that he took from people, and court has reinstated those lands. He refused to obey court.
Because I know that Asra Ogudalo told me yesterday, Deputy Governor, because I know Asra Ogudalo told me yesterday that he has absolute confidence in the judiciary.
My sister, all these are games. Hello?
I can hear you. Please go on.
Yeah, my sister, all these are games.
Okay.
They know their supporters, and politics is fluid. Many of them are already living. Most of them are living. They are calling me. If I can turn this camera, look at my backyard now, it's full of many of the PDP people that want to leave. Some of them are on the fence, they want to leave. So the statement he made is just to keep their people together. He knows that he cannot win in the court. My sister Jumoke, when I heard his voice, when I heard him lamenting that they cheated him, they rigged, and he said the Esako area, the votes, I forwarded my units collation. I forwarded my units, the counting of my units, and the video of when they were counting my vote in my unit, the video, everything. Because most of your cameramen, my unit was a flashpoint. So a lot of your media people were there 80% of the day. So they videoed my unit. So I had the video. I forwarded the video to Asra Ogudalo. I forwarded the video when the voting was on, when they started counting, when they announced it, I forwarded it to Ogudalo that stop ranting. This is actual thing that happened. I forwarded it to Ogudalo. I forwarded it to the governor. So it's to show them, and the result, I forwarded it to them to tell them to stop talking. He's talking about being confident in judiciary. Judiciary, they don't believe in. He doesn't believe in judiciary. And as I said, he has spent 40 years as a lawyer. Has he ever gone to court? As a 40 years experience without going to court. So it's all game. You see, this is what they did in the private sector that is creating problem for Nigeria now. Everybody blame government. And Tinubu is there. That is that. Let me tell you, when you have Aswe and Obaseki in the private sector, I can tell you that it will be difficult to even change the narrative, because the private sector is supposed to be the driver of our economy with government good policies. But when you have people like that when they tell you 10 things, 9 are all false, then how will the economy change? So the attention now should not just be on government. The attention should be how much of their expertise have they contributed to changing the economy of Nigeria? Because when I worked with Obaseki for 7 years and I saw the gap, and I was telling myself, I said, if Oshomole have known that this is the gap that this man had, there's no way he will have presented it to us in 2016. Because Oshomole was confident that he was coming to change the economy of the state because, he, in quote, he has 32 years working experience, which I believe in also then. But when I worked with him, I saw the gaps. Jumoke, when I left House of Rep to the deputy governor, I didn't have one gray hair. Working with Obaseki, see my head now, they're all gray because I was filling in the gap. Obaseki lacked public sector administration sense. Obaseki lacks human relation. And Obaseki does not have empathy. He's wicked. So when you have people like that in a system called private sector, every advice that they will give to those in government, they expect that they will be negative. It's all about their pockets. So that, and unfortunately, Aswe was in the sovereign wealth fund, I was told. How can an Aswe advise Buhari and the advice will yield to the development of our economy? So I think when we talk about government now, we also need to look inward, look into the players in the private sector to see what is their contribution to our economy. Because the Aswe and the Obaseki of our time, if they will have enough of them if we have much of them in the private sector, I beg, there will be a problem in our economy going forward. So we need to start filtering them out so that when we have a government policy that is towards developing our area, the private sector will follow it through. Because let me tell you, Jumoke, government have no business in business, but government have business in enabling environment. So, but when you have good players in the economy, in the private sector to drive our economy, then all this action we are talking about will be a thing of the past. It's because we have the likes of ASWA and Obaseki in the private sector, we are still having this problem.
All right.
I listened to the World Bank.
Shaibu, I listened to the World Bank.
I listened to the World Bank man telling us that it will take us 15 years to get out of the present predicament that was orchestrated and planned not by Tinubu but by previous administration. But for us to even get to that 15 years, and to actualize it, we'll need the private sector, genuine private sector that will tell you 10 things, 9 is the truth. Look at yesterday. He's telling you he has 40 years experience, but he has never been caught.